Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Xinfin Network, aka XDC. So let's just dive in and let's start off with the overall price action. So one thing that I've been noting around XDC is that the price action has been trailing sideways. We got this expansion. Now what do I want to see up here? Well, I want to see us build a floor and then have that higher continuation up within the 5-cent range, so almost like 5.5 cents. This is where I do get very excited about XDC because we are back into the level of the summer of 2021 timeframe before we had the trail sideways, expansion, trail sideways, expansion. This is what I want to kind of see up here. I want to see us trail sideways, expand, again, just kind of trail sideways and expand even more, possibly getting up to this level here, which is the all-time high, obviously. And once we do get to that point, once we break over this 19.5 cents level, which is not going to happen all at once. Trust me, it's going to trail sideways, expansion, sideways, expansion. Very similar to, just healthy price action. We've seen it in the past. Now, yes, it can move pretty quick. Like, for example, this level here, even this level here, and even like some of the levels to the all-time high. But for the most part, the initial reaction on some of these altcoins where we do trail sideways can expand pretty quick. And then it could trail sideways, expand really quick as well, expand or trade sideways, and then expand one last time. Now, with this, what I'm mainly looking at is that 85 cents to $1 plus range, which I know for a lot of people, they think like, all right, well, we want it to go higher. Obviously, yes, we want it to go like $5, $10. We would love that. But initially speaking, I do think that these are the levels of interest up here around like 80 cents to $1 plus. And I welcome that. A lot of people think that you need to have like 100x opportunity runs, but honestly, like, to 85 cents, this would be about a 35x opportunity run. Now to $1 plus, like that's like 50 plus X. Now to me, yes, we can go much, much higher. I even talked about anticipating an XRP like run to about like $3 plus. That's a possibility, 100%. And I also do think that long term, XDC could reach a well over 100 billion, 200 plus $billion market cap, which, go ahead and calculate what XDC would be worth at those market caps. This is just short-term price action though. And in the short term, I do think that this is going to expand pretty quick once we start to have that major breakout event. So far, I think that the price action has been pretty exciting. The one thing that I have been noting though is the RSI peaking a little bit. I do expect us to have a little bit of a pullback back down to this range here, which is like almost 4 cents. This would be welcomed in. We could also have, capitulation wicks like we've seen back here in March of 2021, where we did drop a little bit. I mean, technically this was an overall almost 40% drop. I mean, if we did have a 40% drop from the top here, 40% would actually take us all the way back down. I'll say like 38%. It would take us back down to like 2.5 cents. And I'm not saying that we will get that there. That might be something where we do see it up here where we reject, or possibly even at this major resistance zone, which was sitting at about the 53-day EMA anyways. But if we did get like a 38% pullback, it would be right back down here to like 4 cents. And that would be from like about 6.5 cents, which technically, hey, that would look great because then we would have that higher continuation continue on, which if we were to do something like that, it would basically look like this if I had to throw just a bars graph here. So I would shorten this a little bit and it would look something a little like this. Now, obviously, I don't like to do bars graphs fully because I just don't like the idea of using bars graphs to depict price action because, again, it's always a little inaccurate, if you will, because again, this is just bars graph. It's going off of what we've seen in the past, but this is what we would expect in the short term if we were to have some sort of price action similar to this time here or something like that. But again, it all depends on what happens when we get to these levels up here where rejections will be one, welcomed because we have to break out of resistance, but two, I think that this is going to be the big levels of interest for buyers as well. I think that once we start to break out up into this range, a lot of eyes are going to be on XDC and anticipating the expansion to the top. But I do believe that we will make a new all-time high eventually here soon. And I think that 2023 could be very big for a lot of these utility gems as we start to see government crackdowns and governments focusing on CBDCs. I think that a lot of people are going to rush to crypto because of that. But with all of that in mind, let's take a look at a few things happening around Xinfin's specialty, which is trade finance. So we do see Lloyds Bank and Inizio launch new trade digitization partnership. We do see the two bullet points here. One, long-term partnership will expand the use of Inizio's blockchain-powered trace original technology in digital trade documentation and trade finance products. And then two, partnership follows Lloyds Bank and Inizio's involvement in the UK's first digital promissory note and digital bill of exchange transaction. So this is very, very exciting. We're starting to see digitization become a reality, and it's starting to really kind of expand now. And remember that this pilot transaction was the first under the International Trade and Forfeiting Association's Digital Negotiable Instrument Initiative, aka the DNI, which saw the sale and purchase of land worth 48 million pounds completed between several UK businesses within a single day. The underlying promissory note was issued using Trace Original. So very big, and yes, this is all collaboration between the DNI as well as the ITFA, which is very exciting because, again, when you actually look at who's a part of that, it's a lot of major companies and banks, and guess who is one of them? Xinfin. So I think that this is great. Again, I do think that this is going to, like, when we look at trade finance, it's going to start to spread very fast once we start to see these solutions become a big crucial aspect of everyday life around the trade finance market, as well as even the banking and financial instruments area. Because again, there's a lot of things still left to truly be worked in around regulations and things like that. So I think that going forward on in time, these things, these big announcements around digitization partnerships, as well as huge things that are happening around the events, like this $48 million pound transaction, like things like this put things into perspective and start the move towards digitization as a whole within these areas. But also, we did see Andre Casterman actually post this. This is how DLT adds value to trade finance DNI initiative, tracking real-world assets on-chain to verify validity of latest version of an e-original or a negotiable instrument as delivered by MLATR compliant and award-winning Inizio. TFDI, bringing liquidity to trade originators from new investors via on-chain investment products called STOs as delivered by award-winning trade tech and its layer 1 blockchain partner Xinfin. Remember, liquidity to trade finance and trade originators is a huge use case, and I'm very excited for this around Xinfin as well as XDC. I've always said liquidity is probably one of the biggest aspects around a lot of these major industries, like even with XRP, when they do focus on like cross-border payments, for an example. But then down here, we do see both initiatives have delivered the most strategic fintech developments involving many members of ITFA's fintech committee and are increasing the level of automation and the amount of liquidity in trade origination and distribution. One to benefit to, engage with many trade tech experts who are leading the charge. Thanks to Trade Finance Global TFG, and we do see still interested in bank consortia and how they can strive. Read on. And this is from Trade Finance Global, talking about DLT within the banking system. And we do see DLT offers the financial services industry a new piece of infrastructure to push the boundaries of open banking, but it doesn't come without its challenges. TFG heard from trade tech expert Andre Casterman on future use cases for blockchain and assets trade and transaction banking. I do think that DLT will become the new foundation for a lot of these major industries, and trade finance definitely is one of them. And then also over here, we did see Trade Finance Distribution Initiatives, TFDI. This is from Marina over on Twitter. Blockchain can be part of the TFDI blueprint for trade distribution. Listen closely as I read this breakdown. So in a post dated March 27th, 2023, trade finance expert Andre Casterman described the TFDI evolving trade distribution blueprint and calibrated its initial focus established in 2019. During a day-long summit in London in early 2023, the TFDI once again brought together bank representatives and industry leaders to debate the evolution and direction of trade distribution. So, these are the 3 levels of things that this is helping banks achieve. Accessing capital markets, increasing net income, adding value to transaction as needs evolve. Now, one of the big things that were posted within this was from the TFDI. This is the blueprint for trade distribution. We do see trade distribution is strategic to close the multi-trillion-dollar funding gap. It will scale as banks engage with institutional investors. It will increase banks' net interest income and return on equity. It will drive innovation as liquidity is extended to new originators. It will help SMEs access more funding. And then over here, you do see accessing capital markets, increasing net income or net interest income, adding value on continuous basis. And then we do see the the trade distribution supports the originate and distribute model. It enables originators of any size to increase balance sheet velocity and to address capital adequacy requirements. It requires securitization to bridge banking and capital markets. Securitization as a service democratizes access to the best practice. It can be governed by the industry as a new financial market infrastructure as well. And we do see how can expanded trade distribution be achieved? Well, this goes in depth on blockchain technology. It offers an unprecedented opportunity to achieve these goals. It is the bedrock for the technological capabilities known and unknown for a wider distribution of trade finance instruments. And we do see blockchain technology, and specifically the XDC network, has already shown that the technology can be adopted for trade finance specific use cases. And they do mention the trade finance NFT transaction in 2021. They also break down the XDC itself. But we do see digitally represented by an NFT, the packaged trade finance assets became available to a wider investor audience and proved there was a channel for the expanded distribution model. But then they also mention through with XDC Tech, a subsidiary, Trade Tech created traded tokens, fully regulated tokens that represent trade finance assets as fungible security tokens. Also launched on the XDC network, the security tokens created further investor opportunities through an accessible, scalable, and secure blockchain solution. This is what we mean by when you need to focus on the bigger use cases around some of these markets that just people are not looking at. And we do see the XDC network will provide a prime technological base upon which SaaS can be built, securitization as a service. The enterprise-ready blockchain and its low-cost transactions, high-speed throughput, and military-grade security can be leveraged to scale up the trade distribution process. This is big. And we do see a few questions. And these are the questions and concerns that basically they are asking here. Honestly, as we do look at this, we do see these TFDI debates show that there is already an appetite in the secondary market for expanded trade distribution. The front-end technology and user experience will be reinforced by the efforts underway to digitize and standardize the process. Again, all centered on blockchain and XDC being the forefront of it. I do believe that XDC is primed for mass adoption when it comes to trade finance. This is very, very bullish because, again, this is a multi-trillion-dollar gap that needs to be filled. I'm very excited for this. And by the way, as we do look at everything happening, Xinfin continues to expand its services outside of this as well. Recently, we've seen this announcement from Paxo Finance. We do see Justin Paxo Finance has officially launched on Xinfin Official XDC Apothem testnet. Stay tuned for more updates on this exciting development in the world of DeFi. I love this. I think that this is incredible. I love DeFi use cases. I think that this is a huge area of opportunity. I think that it's also a great area for the retail sector to participate in allowing DeFi to truly be achieved in terms of its power and the potential, because we see it being targeted by the government, which I think is a big problem. So I'm very bullish on DeFi, and I do think that DeFi will be huge going forward on in time. And then also, we did see a huge update around something coming to XDC, and that is Elite Web 3. I love this use case. It is talking about tokenizing tokenizing real estate on XDC. And we do see the future of tokenized assets is near. Coming to XDC thanks to Elite Web 3 and Yoda Plus Tech. Here's a quick demo of a dApp I put together to demonstrate the process of transfer of ownership for a tokenized home on the blockchain. Stay tuned. Now, yes, this does use Ethereum. It actually uses MetaMask with Ethereum, but I do think that this could be a very big use case for Xinfin and XDC. I personally would love to be able to purchase a house with XDC. I think that that could be a possibility at some point in time, or possibly have this dApp come to the XDC network to have a much more efficient process outside of what Ethereum is doing. We've talked about how XDC could very well become much larger than Ethereum at the end of the day when you look at the efficiency compared to, Ethereum, or even when you compare it to Hedera and stuff like that. I do think that the days of Ethereum being the number two, the go-to, if you will, for a lot of these major dApps, I think that that's going to at some point in time fade out, because I think that these major projects that are building out solid use cases, enterprises that are focused on major use cases, they're just going to want more. They demand more efficiency. They demand scalability without the massive costs associated with it. So I think that these use cases are incredible. And remember, when you look at the real estate market, the global real estate market is worth $300 trillion plus. This is a huge area of opportunity around tokenization. We already have tokenized gold on Xinfin. This would be another major stable point in tokenization, becoming the next evolution of blockchain technology. Again, we already have tokenization as a service around trade finance and around some incredible areas of opportunity around security tokens and things like that. So why wouldn't we have tokenization within real estate? This is awesome. I love to see it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.